You're scrolling the internet, right? And you hear that somebody got married in the metaverse. Yeah, is that cringe? Is that amazing? Or do you prefer just not to judge other people? Welcome to another edition of Xfeed. My name is Schiller. We go live Monday through Friday, except for yesterday. Ignore that. And we talk about the Web3 space, NFT news, probably about your favorite project. Obviously, now we've got about 48 hours of news. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Listen, well, we got about like 30 plus stories. I could have had more, but I thought, let's not overdo it. But the first story of the day, and we highlighted it when it happened, because it did happen 2 days ago. But now we got articles coming out about it. Pixels hosts first ever Web3 wedding, and some other thing about another game. So I've noticed there's this tone. Yo, Atari, what's going on, Bruchacho? How you doing? I've noticed this tone where there's been more of a focus on what other countries are doing, the uptick in businesses actually incorporating blockchain technology. We talk about mass adoption, at least from our perspective, generally about just like the NFTs, and be like, oh, what if this like particular brand that's Web3 based hits like a certain proliferation across the entire world? And it's, I think, a little bit more nuanced than that, where if you just have, mom and pop shops that are integrating it, the opportunity to spend however you want, whether it's fiat, whether it's certain crypto, things are opening up. And as just kind of a side plug, I did upload a video yesterday where I talked to Arlo and Trevor from DRX, which is a part of Featureverse, and we went into their merch drop, all the things that they had to go through, and kind of that side of the angle for it. But again, worldwide, they have the opportunity now to pay with crypto or fiat, and apparently there's certain places that have been a little bit particular with their crypto payments, that being Shopify. Mr. Mtali, listen, I need you to move to NA. I'm like maybe 4 wins away from gold for the first time ever in League. Hell yeah. So just going through this real quick, after meeting his partner at the 2022 Axie Infinity Convention, we love IRL events, AxieCon, popular Web3 content creator Cloud White decided there was no better way to tie the knot than in a Web3 game. Now, apparently what's kind of wild about this is that his wife her family was like from Colombia, so them making the trip up was kind of difficult. Having this all online is actually kind of a cool concept. This legitimately happened. Apparently, the people that were there was 3,789 people bought suits. 1,865 went for wedding dresses. Sky Mavis themselves actually made like a wedding invitation. Yo, get Hunar to carry. The man is a goat. But like, look at this. This is actually kind of cool. You might not have played Pixels online, but I think just generally being in the Web3 space, everybody, is paying attention to what's going on. So you are cordially invited to the wedding of Cloud White and Laura on the 7th of September. Holy, this was actually a really long time ago. So the articles came out late. Where the Pixels wedding venue enter via the Swan Boat in Terra Villa Central. And the dress code, an exclusive custom gown, suit, and hairdo will be available for 24 hours. And I'm curious, I don't know if it mentions within here. I think that they might have actually had people pay for them. Which imagine you like do a wedding metaverse, and then you still get the wedding gifts from people to do that. But I don't think it mentioned anything about people paying within that. But still, either way, kind of cool and odd at the same time. Now, another headline that is showing the rationales and the actual use cases for crypto. Crypto is used for payments in Georgia. Not to get rich, Tbilisi Crypto City Guide. I probably mucked up that name, but this is a city apparently right outside of Russia or like country. So Russia's here and Georgia's here. And because of the sanctions in Russia, it's actually easier for tourists to use crypto payments. And so they're just highlighting that aspect. And I was like, okay, well, there you go. There's your actual use case. Korea Blockchain Week 2024 sets new benchmarks with record attendance and groundbreaking Web3 innovations. Am I crazy? Or have we not seen a massive amount of IRL events this year? Like sickening amounts. Is this not crazy? Is this not crazy? And it's breaking attendance. And we have the arguments and conversations around you really have to focus on the Asian markets. But the actual statistics, setting a new record with over 17,000 participants, an impressive 70% growth compared to last year. Now, we can be like, all right, that's just that side of the world. NFT NYC doesn't really have the same pizzazz of it. But if we actually say that, well, then there's your exact reason for focusing more on the Asian markets, because some of the events in NA aren't getting the traction that they once did. At the same time that it feels like more of the Web3 gaming brands are trying to now enter into just traditional video game conferences and whatnot, right? Where it doesn't necessarily need to be only Web3. And we've seen Web3 conferences charge an absolute lot, which is nuts. Digital assets firm Transact announces launch in Hawaii to provide a gateway to Web3 for individuals and businesses. Now, we've continually seen different countries offer or say, hey, we're making changes to our crypto policies, etc. And the one for Hawaii was actually made in 2019 called the Digital Currency Innovation Lab, DCIL. So, again, just kind of cool news to share. Web3 gaming isn't for gamers yet. Balancing play to earn with pay to win. Key takeaways: Web3 pay to win and pay to earn titles are criticized for catering to whales and using predatory monetization tactics. Okay, reflecting on that for a second, do we believe that's the case? I mean, there's people that are wanting to be whales, and I mean, they go out and buy things. I mean, traditionally, that's just how it works. I think that whales wouldn't be whales if it was like a completely even playing field, if you know what I mean. And whales also prop up the market a lot of the time. And obviously with Blur, when we saw kind of that cascade down of the Blur farmers yanking their bids, well, that's a great example of it. The potential of earning money for crypto gaming is at odds with the concept of developing a fair, balanced, and fun video game. I mean, there's been fun games within Web3. I just think that it's not really gotten adopted. I mean, people, even for like free airdrops right now, how many people go out and actually do that? Like, in theory, it should be everybody, but I mean, people are lazy. People are lazy. And when marketing coming through with a fat 4 months, holy jeez. Yo, thank you for the support. Appreciate the hell out of you. Hope you enjoy the rest of the stream, and good morning. Web3 features as an add-on, not a requirement, may prove more popular amongst traditional gamers. Yeah, I kind of agree. You just kind of hide the Web3 tech and have a little bit of both. Okay, so Nyla Hayes. You remember Long Necky Ladies? Give you a little bit of a reference if you haven't. This was a collection that went super viral back in the day. There was another one called like Wider Whales or something, and it was some kid that was like super young that I just launched an NFT collection, and his dad was like, we're going to hold the money and make sure he goes to a good school and all this other stuff. But another individual for that was Nyla from Long Necky Ladies. Again, almost 2,000 ETH volume. Kind of nuts, but they are still rocking and rolling, creating a community-owned storytelling experience, which we've noticed a little bit of these, right? I mean, from Forgotten Runes Wizards Cult, they had the whole lore piece. I think people, I mean, Jenkins the Valet before they kind of stopped what they were doing with the writer's room, et cetera, et cetera. There is this kind of push towards storytelling that's not made by like a single entity. It's kind of for the whole community. Our mission is to create an immersive preschool TV series that the entire family will love, much like Bluey. So cool to see that happening. And this is just funny. So the Toronto Maple Leafs announced that Oreo is their partner. And I saw this quote tweet saying, I remain happy that our team sponsors are sugar and dairy rather than banks and crypto. I love it. All right. 1,500 collection minted at 0.05.1 mint and price sitting at 0.289 floor. If you don't know, Cambria had a mint the other day, one of the bigger Web3 games that are out there, gaining a lot of traction. Big takeaways immediately is they didn't opt for like a massive mint. Again, going back in the day, right, for Doodles, I think it was like a 0.123 ETH mint. And there was 10,000 of them. For Bored Apes, it was a 0.08 mint. Again, 10,000 of them. For a mint that's basically the same, if not lower, because at the time of most of those mints, ETH was way higher than where it is right now. Collection out of 1,500. Yeah, that's going to run. So is this the teams being smarter? Is this the teams not going for much of a cash grab, wanting to have more of a positive vibe from people that purchase that, and a lot of people going, damn, I missed that one. Now I have FOMO, and every other time Cambria mints something, I need to get on it, right? Because it's, you gotta put on that thinking cap now. But very, very cool to see Cambria with its success. Okay, listen, we gotta talk about this. So I love orchestras, the behind the scenes music. I think all of that is incredible. And I mean, Third Kingdom game. This is called the Budapest Scoring Orchestra. They worked on Parasite, The Elder Scrolls Online, ESO, and Total War. this is awesome. So sit back. This is about a minute of showcasing that. It's so lit. It's so lit. And then we have people in the community that are like, bro, why didn't you use your generated music? Are you kidding me? We hired a friggin' orchestra. That's just sick, and you guys are complaining about stuff. What? It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. I think this is like one of the coolest things that's happened in Web3. I just love the behind the scenes, honestly. And like, I admittedly, I do spend time, whether it's like listening to like old, if you guys have ever seen the like live orchestras, where there's like a movie playing in the background, whether it be, well, this isn't a movie, but like Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings, and they have like the soundtrack and orchestra there. Oh man, those videos are super cool. So I think that is awesome and love to see it. Okay. This is a crazy clip. Okay, so we brought up Mario a few times here and there. If you ever want to see somebody that like literally just spends like 24 hours a day crapping on Gary Vee and V Friends, if you're a fan, turn away for a moment. But so yesterday there was the news of the FlyFish Club, which we broke down what the NFTs were, and it was like they raised like $14.8 million for 1,600 NFTs, which breaks down to about like $10,000 in NFT for this exclusive dining experience. Now, listen, I'm outing myself as like a brokey. I totally get that, but like, holy smokes, that's insane. So the SEC had him pay a fine or whatever, and Mario found this clip back in the day of him talking about it, and this does sound like a little bit suspicious when we look back.
Platform for access and membership, but asset creation. So, you know, listen, you're going to go 3, 4, 5 times, and then you might want to sell it and make a profit. Platform for access. So
that's, listen, he's saying, hey, you go sell these and make a profit. And for anyone that doesn't know, FlyFish Club, again, was just like a very posh restaurant that they were building where you could go and obviously super exclusive, but him saying, yo, go a couple times and then sell it for a profit. Mainstream news. That's a tough one. Okay, so going over to some stats from Forgotten Runes. I think this is super interesting for the Rooniverse game. Over 967,000 unique active wallets. They have over 1 million hours played in 2 weeks and over 35 million in-game bosses defeated. I think this is super cool. I do really enjoy the game as well. If anybody's not played it, I don't know if it's still open because they seem to go like through different periods. But one of the things that I was kind of like cautious about, or not, you know, wanted to know like a little bit more, and it was about like the NFT value, right? Because obviously we look at that and think, okay, like, do we want to hold the asset? Do we really care about an avatar skin if it's going to cost, you know, several $1,000s, etc.? And so there was this post that was going back and forth kind of about like how awesome those stats were. And I thought this was interesting coming from Chicken. He says, we shall see. I think being honest about the intended path for each of the assets would be nice. Shadows are a clear example of this failure. Now, for anybody that doesn't know, Shadows was a Bitcoin ordinals mint that was like 0.2 BTC or something very, very high that was for just these digital characters. And again, that could be implemented within the show. Forgotten Runes does have a very big scope of what they're doing. I do have an interview on my channel if anybody wants to go way back. But at a minimum, the first and primary asset should have clear expectation. Right now, it seems the only true value for having one of the wizards is to have input on lore. Talked about earlier. Yet the process for how lore is chosen or becomes canon is a mystery and probably just random / who has been the loudest. Credit for the map assertions of recents. I like that idea a lot. Seeing your story incorporated or recognized in a game or show is the fun and value to me. Otherwise, I'll just go write my Word doc on my desktop. And I think we continually have this throughout every single collection of saying, okay, we have these assets. Obviously, the scope's big, but like, what kind of like are they for? It doesn't need to be anything insane, but is there extra perks for the game, which there is, by the way, just to clarify, you get like extra mana throughout the day and some other things. You have the daily donut. So there is things. Like, I'm not trying to put that in like a bad light. I'm just saying everybody is way more trying to find justifications for things, meaning that speculation is basically just not here. Palace, remember Blast? Holy smokes. So it was wild to think that people were saying that Blast was going to come out at $5 to $10 a token. Remember, $5 to $10 a token. People were speculating for whatever reason. I don't know the degen crowd or what exactly. And currently it's sitting at 1 cent. I have no idea how so many people can be like that far off on the speculative front. Now, is Blast going to be able to do things? I think so, but the competition is getting much, much bigger, right? We just have all these networks. And if we remember back to a couple weeks ago, a couple months ago, people were talking about how many big chains were coming and the opportunity to airdrop farm on a whole bunch of them, obviously Blast being a great example of that. But wow, I didn't realize how many we've had. And if you go back to some of the other X feeds, we probably talked about a new chain like at least once a week, if not more. Yo, RDL, good morning, sir. How in the hell are you? I got a question for you. Do you own any AI? Because if you do, get ready for your bags to absolutely moon. Just in Blackrock and Microsoft to launch $30 billion artificial intelligent investment fund. Holy sugar shit. That is dead. Jeez, that's a lot of money. But highlights the AI. Again, it's felt like the narrative slowed down a little bit about AI, but it's, you know, it's starting to pick up a little bit. Listen, don't sleep on that headline. That is crazy. This is a phenomenal post here from Stevie G. Great name, by the way, Stevie G. It's okay for Tops to do this, but not NBA Top Shot. What in the hell are they talking about? So on Tops, which is, you know, the trading cards, which I don't have. Actually, hold on. Listen, we still have these like Marvel cards the grocery store gave us the other day. But they are selling a Steph Curry and Lionel Messi 1 of 1 that's like a pair, and they're selling them for $11.99. And you're like, well, shill, what the hell do you mean? How do you sell a 1 of 1 for $11.99? That's pretty. You mean $1,199, right? No, $11.99. Think US, sorry, Canadians. Oh, damn it, it's like $15. But it's a lottery system. It's $12, and you might get a chance at it. Now, within the Web3 space, we say, oh my God, these lottery systems are terrible. It's awful, whatever. But then this happens and you're like, okay, so is there kind of like a double standard where that's for like a physical card, so it's a little bit different? I mean, I don't know. Thinking of back to like the lottery loot boxes, I remember in like Overwatch and different video games, they didn't have as many like mystery boxes anymore because in a lot of countries, and I think like Belgium's one of the leaders in it, said, hey, like we're not allowing like gambling or like the lottery systems in it. So either way, just very interesting to compare and contrast. So Vitalik was at the Singapore token event, and if you haven't heard,
and its properties are for better than all the rest of them. It's mathematical. No more double spend. It's encryptable. Put your cash in your brain or it's terrible. A new form of wealth begins.
Nah, bravo. Listen, that was an absolute beautiful rendition of I have no idea what that was. But my goodness, listen, I know how many people would not have the balls to go up on stage in front of an entire crowd. Again, one of the co-founders of Ethereum here and just start ripping off a song. Unbelievable. Love to see it. Is the gutter dead? Is it time to change the PFP? When was the last time you guys heard about Gutter Cat Gang? What? So not yesterday, the day before we talked about PR, there was an article that came out and it was just generally talking about public relations and how in Web3 you almost need it like all the time because everybody's completely tuned in. And Gutter Cat, I feel like they've made certain announcements. I think they got acquired. Same with like Lazy Lions at a point. But it's like they don't have that daily touch point that I see in my timeline. Trying to do anything, right? Like, I mean, keep the budget small. We don't need to have like some insane graphics or anything. Have somebody from the team come on, give some hype, show some stuff, highlight merch. I don't care. Do anything. Because everybody wants to see what's going on. Now, Parallel doing the complete opposite of what Gutter Cat Gang is and just leaking the alpha all the time. If you haven't seen Parallel Colony, basically this is a AI game I guess it's going to be mobile friendly. Again, from having your avatars, you can see the whole world. And when we talk about AI agents, guys, well, here's a great example of what's to come. Might say, okay, well, Schiller, listen, this is going to be a little bit away, but still kind of crazy. You don't actually do anything, but the game plays for you. This is what the future looks like. How absolutely insane is that? I would think very. And this is just another kind of video that shows like an actual trailer, so enjoy.
Agent activated.
Welcome to the Colony, player. Since our last update on the game, our teams have made great progress all around. Colony is now fully playable on both iOS and Android devices. We have created richer worlds, expanded our avatars collection, and designed new and engaging NPCs you'll interact with. There are now many more activities and challenges waiting for you. We look forward to welcoming you to Colony very soon.
Yo, not bad. Looks pretty sweet. Looks pretty sweet. Now, Treeverse as well, one of the other games that is coming out, and people have been saying this kind of looks like a Nintendo game trying to potentially go after like the Legends of Zelda type of deal. I think it's cool. Again, they have metaverse land that's associated with this. They have avatars. It's funny, almost every single collection has avatars, land, etc., etc. But you vibe with the gameplay that you see from these different ones. So Slorg had a thread that was talking about the FlyFish Club the other day, and Crypto Kelly, who I think has some very interesting perspectives and why I actually started the show talking about the different country perspective and businesses really building. This political push against crypto will eventually subside when they see how much businesses from other countries are making using blockchain. Another option is to use SEC-regulated stock tokenization, but only 4 companies are allowed to do that right now. That industry should implode, which is actually kind of crazy. Because again, we have, what, like a handful of stablecoin providers that are way up there. But again, the eyes are now on all the other countries and what they are doing. So if you're a frequent watcher of the stream, which, listen, you guys are great. Abdali, Atari, RDL, see you guys all the time. Appreciate you tuning in so often. I've tried bringing up the conversation around DAOs a little bit because it felt like the DAO conversation genuinely just died. We had all the people, companies, whatever, trying to come together, put a pool of money into something, and maybe that's one of the reasons why we had the craziness that we did in the space before. But that conversation has died. I don't know if it's legal reasons. I don't know if people are just like, I'm just holding my money. These are bad experiences before, maybe a little bit of PTSD. But there is still a lot of Web3 gaming ones out there. And as an example, that's not Web3 gaming, the doomed DAO. We've talked about Xcopy. They're out there buying a ton of X copies. So we've seen these huge sales as of late. How many of them are from this DAO? What happens when more DAOs form, whether it be going after specific art NFTs, whether it be specific gaming ecosystems? I don't know. I think it's a super underrated sector in the space right now. Okay, so this video is going to get DMCA'd. So RIP, again, shout out to Shay for the subscription. If you guys, again, are wanting to support the stream at all on YouTube, it's like $2.99 a month. No ads. Twitch, again, it's got Amazon Prime. Get a free Twitch Prime sub. And we're going to go through this clip and a couple other ones. And I want you just to like realize how mainstream crypto has gotten that you might not even realize. Okay, so here's a clip from Colin Cowherd, and we talk a little bit about Papa John's before we kick off. Can't keep up. Truly, that's why we do this show where it's kind of quick hit pieces. You see something you like, you go research it. If not, we're ordering a shakaroni. Colin Cowherd compares Justin Fields to NFTs. What?
Not anti-Justin Fields. And I think he does have value. I think he could garner a second to a third round pick. But you better accept that second round pick because it may be a third. It's like NFTs. Remember when NFTs came out? Like, I always understood cryptocurrency, not for me, unregulated money, no thank you. No centralized bank is really willing to put their arms around it. Not going to be my investment. But like NFTs, as like 98% are worthless. Like, you keep telling me it's something, and I don't see something.
So this again was back, like this was years ago. I was like scrolling through old stuff that I had on my computer saved, and this was one of them. And I thought that was hilarious, but I wanted to bring it back up. And then we went back to this other thread. Okay. And so this is just to show again. So that's like mainstream sports, right? And so this is a, this is Zuma and the Flank. So these guys do they're massive in the Call of Duty space, absolutely massive. And here is them talking about crypto. Again, to 12,000 people. You can't see it on the screen, but that's how many people viewing.
Yo, what's going on with Bitcoin right now? Is Bitcoin going to the moon?
A bunch of cryptos doing good right now.
Yeah, but I see people, people are cashing out on crypto right now.
Yeah, but this happens like at the beginning of the year, every year in Q1, crypto's always going up.
Yeah, Bitcoin's going to the fucking moon.
It's gone up a lot, has it not?
Almost every year, Q1, that shit's always going to the moon. So I'm long on my crypto.
Is it too late to dip in there or no?
I don't know. Two-time gentlemen, let's go.
Okay, so that's one example, right? Here's another one. This is from League of Legends. So we're going from Call of Duty space to massive streamers within League of Legends.
You're just rich like that or what?
Bro, the first thing he said is like, bro, this DJ is set. Crypto is going to the moon. Dropping money, bro.
Hey, crypto is going to the moon, isn't it?
It is. Going around the moon and back.
Wait, what is Bitcoin up to?
I think it's like 62K USD. It's almost reaching.
So this is again way back in what, March of this year. And then, okay, so let's go to another game. So we've gone from Call of Duty, mainstream sports, League of Legends, and now RuneScape.
He is a popular Twitch streamer from the United Kingdom. His real name is Adam Line. He has an estimated net worth of $2.8 million. Yeah, that doesn't involve the crypto portfolio right now, which is actually worth a lot. Let me go check how much it is. 1 second. Hey, $12.09, mate. Good, bro. Crypto portfolio's almost doubled this year, mate.
And again, now that one's a little bit of a joke. Maybe he's got a lot more. But seriously, the amount of people, and this is again back from March when these are just things I'm coming across. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I got to go back, clip that, and record it for the for the stream. But the adoption is really starting to happen. Now, this was pretty wild. So at the event over the weekend in Singapore, TopTrader was one of the announcements coming from Yuga that's going on Apechain. This is one of the speeches from it, and if you've seen a bunch of people get liquidated on the weekend, this was what it was about.
Right? If they say it's another predictive market, if it's another DEX, it's like, well, how is it actually different? That's the question that we asked ourselves at Apechain. What are the unique Web3 rails that we can bring to the table? And like, what can you get here that you can't get anywhere else? It's super important. And so we've got a couple of apps that are really unique, and we're launching them on Apechain. And one of them is TopTrader. So what you're going to play tonight is basically a trading game. And you're going to be able to trade crypto and win real crypto. You can long or short any position that you want. It's a really, really simple game. You don't have to have any kind of like academic knowledge because we designed this to be pretty degenerate. So it's basically you long and short, but you have to use a minimum 100x leverage. That's it. So you're not really like planning for the long term here. Each round is like an hour. If you use 1000x leverage, just a little move, you get liquidated. So what we have is this screen is going to bring your name up and how much money you got liquidated for, so you can take a picture with yourself and your friends.
Okay, so we talk about all these real use cases, all these things coming up, and what do? They bring something for the DGen crowd. Hey, we're building an app where you have to 100x leverage minimum, long or short. Interesting. Very interesting concept. So Garga, again, CEO of Yuga Labs and co-founder of BAYC, saying some thoughts on TopTrader, the first Apechain native product that will be coming out from our workshop team. Thank you to everyone who attended today's demo in Singapore. First off, TopTrader is an unhinged competition. It's a fully on-chain trading simulation game with minimum 100x leverage. It's kind of a blast and the only way you'll ever touch 1000x leverage without bankrupting your family for generations. Importantly, TopTrader is also a pretty elegant demo of a suite of tools available to anyone building on Apechain. The workshop built TT as a fully on-chain game using Ape Portal for tournament buy-ins from other chains, Yuga ID for seamless account abstraction, gas sponsor transactions, and Reboot to manage tournament rewards. So again, the Pixel Vault Reboot ecosystem, you've been seeing more and more conversations around that. If you remember the planets, back in the day for that mint, those are actually used now for getting this Reboot token. Again, market cap's at like 2 mil, which again is tiny. We've had conversations around why are people shilling stuff that's 500 million plus? Well, there's some tiny gems out there, and we'll see what, when this fully launches, what the reaction from the market is on that. So there was a clip where Logan Paul was talking about his purchase. He bought a World of Women. I don't know if it was called like Nightshade or what. It was like one of the blue starry World of Women NFTs, and he bought one of the, I think this is like one of ones, if not like super highly rarity ranked Oni Force, and somehow spent several $100,000 on it. Now, upon reflection, I kind of realized this the other day, and you guys are probably smarter than me, so you realized it. But did he not do the whole crypto zoo and everything right after? So him making these purchases, where again he got a ton from that mint, was kind of a sign of like, hey, I'm showing my support for the industry, but also, hey, look, I just purchased how much of another collection? Well, of course I'm going to go out and support my own collection and potentially buy it, where people have these like expectations that aren't said, but it's like, you know, you're like, oh, okay. So he's like, well, this was kind of a dumb decision to do that back in the day, when obviously it kind of was. And I mean, certain collections out there have really done well. Obviously, like the floor prices of things. But I mean, Oni Force and World of Women, I don't know if they were ever like that insane prices where it like even was justifiable to spend like $200,000, let alone $635,000 on any of these, which is nuts. Really cool update here coming from Other Page regarding apes. They now have a way where you take your avatar and listen, you got that bling bling going on. You can have the ape chain, and they're just integrating different tools, and I think making things easier for people that don't have the extra technical capabilities. Tyler Winklevoss, again, co-founder of Gemini. Behold the Winklevoss School of Business, the world's first Bitcoin-backed business school. Asked a couple of years ago if this would be a thing. You'd probably say, hell nah, but it's here. More adoption, more craziness going on. So .swoosh, remember this? Obviously, there's Artifact within Nike, but Nike really focusing on this .swoosh, trying to... again, just be a part of the digital wearable movement, but also trying to kind of avoid NFTs. So within the article here, right, let's just read this quickly. 2 years ago, we launched our platform .swoosh as a new space to explore and experiment with virtual products. We've learned so much in the last 2 years, and we're grateful to those in the community who joined us somewhere along the way. Back in January, we announced that token transfer would be available in the second half of 2024. Starting today, you'll be able to transfer your tokens into your wallets to control yourselves. Nice. We won't be launching any more NFT collections for now, but we hope you'll continue your journey with .swoosh, and we want to honor your commitment to us from day one. If you bought a OF1 box or participated in your Force 1 Creator Challenge, you will qualify for special access to experience and products over the course of 2025. So, I mean, I don't really know what to take of that. It felt like the .swoosh thing was like trying to go in NFTs, but they just wanted to do like virtual products, and it's like, yeah, we're trying to blur the lines. What the hell is going on in VGF? What is going on? Good sir, good morning, and good Jover. Okay, some really cool happenings within Parallel. We highlighted a little bit earlier where the Colony game, obviously the AI, they are also now going for a 3v3 PvE versus E, which is like player versus environment. So it's kind of interesting. And I guess here's a little bit of what the gameplay looks like.
Our art team got together to imagine what a shooter game set in the Parallel universe could look like. What began as a side project quickly grew beyond our expectations, fueled by our community's incredible response to the idea. Driven by your passion and feedback, we embarked on a journey to create expansive new environments. Detailed characters, challenging enemies, and unique creatures, each thoughtfully designed to enhance and broaden the parallel world. We are leveraging the curated work from our avatars collection, our extensive 3D assets library, and the latest in Web3 technology, all brought together through the power of Unreal Engine. Today, we are excited to share a first glimpse into Project Tauceti.
Tauceti. Who's the creative director on that one? Okay, not bad, not bad, not bad. Now, what that video kind of reminded me about when they were showing the gameplay here, and I had to go find it, was, do you guys remember Huxley Saga with Ben Morrow? I do have an interview with him way back in the day. He was a part of like the Halo art team and a whole bunch of other really, really big products, and they did a comic. They were working on I think it was a movie, and we've had trailers for that, which we'll look at an updated one that you might not have seen, but this is kind of what the gameplay looked like before. Now, I haven't really seen much about it, so I don't know if they kind of put the game on pause or what. It's kind of got the Star Wars Battlefront type feel, which the parallel kind of reminded me a little bit about this, so I wanted to go and re-highlight. And this is like the only gameplay footage that I can find is like a YouTube Shorts, so I don't know if this wasn't meant to be released or what the dealio is. But for Huxley, there's been an actual trailer from a while ago that was really sick, but then 2 months ago, 2.4 million views on this. That's insane. But here's one of their official The Oracle, which I don't know if that's a trailer. I don't know if that's a game announcement. We'll find out. Okay, so what was that site? I want to go to that site, huxleysaga.com, huxleysaga.com. Because actually, to be honest, I haven't like checked in like what the updates are. Ben Morrow Huxley is the epic next chapter in the Huxley universe. I also thought that looked super clean, by the way. Dive into the Oracle prequel story in the legendary sci-fi universe created by Ben Morrow. Short film made with the incredible unit image for the new book, available for pre-order now. So this was the original comic, which if you collected most of them, or all of them, you got like special like limited edition comics, or there was these like coins or tokens, I guess, where you were able to unlock different avatars. There was human ones, there was character ones, a little bit of everything on there. It doesn't look like they really mention anything regarding like NFTs on here. They have the different characters, pre-order, and I'm trying to books, films, games. I guess we go to games here. Multiplayer experience, explore the wasteland. Hold on, you can download this right now. I didn't even know you could play that. So the gameplay we looked at is actually a game that can be done right now. Going over to their X profile. Oh, they follow me. Oh yeah. Single editions are so, and that was the other thing. They actually had some like special mints that if you happen to get them again, everybody was looking for those rarity aspects. And these, I mean, actually I have a bunch of them in the closet for like the issue number 1s. But yeah. So, yeah, just wanted to highlight that. Kind of cool. See what brings up from Huxley. But again, top quality. Absolutely love it. Okay, final thing I'm going to leave you with here, and then we're going to say goodbye forever. NFTs are either the main business model that drives human creativity for the next century, or a blip that shows the madness of crowds like the tulip bubble of 1636. Either way, early 2020s crypto art, CryptoPunks, autoglyphs, art blocks, Beeple, super rare one-of-ones, etc. will be historically significant and valuable. So the question with this, and what I've always said, is like the narratives around these things. You know, we called almost everything historical. At one point, people were like, you know, anything around 2021 or pre-2021 is considered historical because that's when the big boom happened. And obviously, they're being a little bit more specific about CryptoPunks, autoglyphs, art blocks. But is it, as long as art blocks continues to create pieces, having a narrative, who's going to tell these stories? I think there was a lot of angst towards people that were talking or making certain calls about things, but it was different narratives that were forming all the time around different things. Not even these specific collections, but I don't know. And there was a great point that I heard when I was doing one of the RWA Spotlight collection spaces the other day, and it was with Nicholas Lejeune from Courtyard. If you don't know, Courtyard is doing graded cards on the blockchain real world assets, and I was asking, like, okay, so what moves the market? For sports, obviously somebody plays good. For like Pokemon, is it if there's a card that's used? Is it there's a show that comes out? Like, how do you decipher what's going to be more valuable? And one of the responses in that he had was, well, think of the old baseball players that were around, right? Like Babe Ruth, etc., Hank Aaron. There's certain people around right now that might think, damn, that's super valuable and potentially have disposable income if they're older. But how much weight is that going to hold in another 20 to 50 years? Is that going to be the same as, let's say, Michael Jordan? And this was the example he gave. He's like, well, you know, Michael Jordan obviously has the legacy like a lot of these other baseball players, but he's also got the Jordan brand that people have recognition to now and can put to. So again, it's all these narrative creations that we're seeing. A lot of things are being said. I don't necessarily think this is wrong, but things change. So that's going to be it for this edition of XV. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow as per usual. Atari God, RDL, Mr. Narmac, W, sir.